Frankenstein's got a journal.
Ash, is Vamp explaining? What?
Klaus stuck in the house.
Elena side to Damon? Huh?
Do I have your attention?
Yep.
Good. Now let's talk about vampires.
Let's go. Season 5. Hear me out.
At Rebecca's kegger with Elaine and friends, taking shots like Jordan Connor, that is, in the paint like Shaq. Fix it in post. You remember when we drove coast to coast, driving to LA, Cavalier and a U-Haul, even though that car was too small. Whipping around the Grand Canyon, trying not to fall in. Even when we rode, we were still ball in. By the bay, listen to Frank Ocean. Pour some coffee, I'll see you in 10.
Just give me the cue. I'll do whatever you want.
Mo money, mo problems, but I'm counting in the sweet spot. Petey's on the track when the beat's hot.
Now let's talk about vampires.
Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries podcast where a guy is watching the series for the first time with a superfan who has seen every episode. I'm the titular Petey. Let's just say I put the Petey in Vampire, but please call me Pete, and I'm here with my co-host and co-parent Ash. Hello, Ash.
Hello, Pete.
Ash, off the break.
Dog barking.
The dog went boof.
Hello, Kiki. Boof.
Ash, tonight's episode, you will interview me about the book Salem's Lot. Go.
Okay, what is Salem's Lot's main character?
Ben Mears.
That was a bad question, by the way. What is the...
He's a human. He's a human author. Mm-hmm. But oh no,
That's not happening.
we're not cutting this out.
Hey, come here.
Come here.
Don't you know we're recording a podcast?
Come on, lay down and snore.
Come here.
All right. So I recently finished Stephen King's vampire book, Salem's Lot. I think it's his only vampire book.
I only asked one question.
And it's the main character is an author who is returning to his home, this little town of Jerusalem's Lot.
What about this book has surprised you the most?
What surprised me about it? I don't know. It wasn't, to be honest, a very surprising book. It had vampires in it. They acted like vampires.
Was there any vampire trope or like talent or whatever that was unexpected or cool?
I thought it was cool that it was just straight up vampires. There wasn't like pizzazz on it, really. Like there wasn't mustard on it. Like it wasn't like it's actually like a virus. It's the vampire virus,
Right.
and it's not like. By the way, there aren't just regular vampires. They're super vampires.
Mm-hmm. And were there other supernaturals in this book or only vampires?
No, just vampires.
All right. And how does it end? Just
But I was excited to read it. I've read many Stephen King books, but usually they're sort of like out there in that it's not just one of the basic Frankenstein, werewolf, vampire.
Yeah.
So I liked reading his version of a very classic monster.
Nice.
Not in Dreamcatcher, it's like a weirdo butt alien. in it's a
butt alien?
an alien that goes in your butt.
Ew.
Or maybe it comes out your butt.
I thought you were kidding.
No, I don't know that I've ever read it, and I don't know that I've seen the movie in a long time.
There's a movie of it with an alien coming in and out of someone's butt?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my gosh.
And then like in it, Pennywise is like a manifestation of fear or something. Mm. But this is a vampire. It drinks blood. It's old,
Yeah. Just straight up.
Yeah. Tonight's episode is Season 5, Episode 11, 500 Years of Solitude. All right. The cold open starts in Bulgaria. 1490. Catherine, flashback. She's pregnant. She goes into labor, but she's flatlining in the present. It's intercut with her being revived in the present, but then she gives birth in the past, but then Nadia is looking for her in the present, and then a guy's yelling at her in the past. Is it her dad or somebody? They take the baby away. Stefan tells Nadia in the present that Catherine had a heart attack. She flatlines again. Every single organ is failing, and vampire blood can't save her.
No.
And Nadia is bummed out. All right. College dorm. Elena is watching the clock. She's like hiding in bed. Damon is drunk at the grill. Matt and Jeremy find him. Caroline and Bonnie bring breakfast to Elena. Breakup breakfast.
Mm-hmm. This is their post-breakup moment. And Caroline is just way too excited that Elena and Damon have broken up because she has never wanted them to be together in the first place. But I would appreciate breakup breakfast.
Mm-hmm. This is following Damon's "I'm a bad guy" speech from the end of last episode.
Right.
Everyone is morning drinking.
Uh-huh.
Cal
M-O-U-R-N and M-O-R-N.
and morning time. Caroline memorized Elena's breakup like she memorized what happened. Mm-hmm. Damon's phone rings. It's Stefan. Elena also gets a call, but everyone is ignoring Stefan except Caroline. She picks up. Damon is drinking Brothers Bond with Matt and Jeremy. He complains about Catherine. She pretended to be Elena to kiss him, which, that's foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm. Just reminding us that she does that.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy gets to drink too, even though he's allegedly probably not 21 in the show yet.
Right. No one is, really. Everyone is 17 or 18 forever.
And Matt is taking shots. Elena comes in. She cuts Jeremy off, but takes a shot. Elena drinks to Catherine's last days. Catherine made Aunt Jenna stab herself in the stomach, Ash.
Yeah, so they're going through saying all the horrible stuff that Catherine did to them and then taking shots. What did you think about this scene? Were you like, yeah, man, she was terrible, or what did you think?
No, I think she's a fine character. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they're all, even Bonnie and Caroline are getting in on it.
I know it's interesting to hear, like, just her, like, rap sheet, basically, of everything that she's ever done to these characters.
Yeah, it was a good reminder, because I wouldn't have known off the break that she had done all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And this episode is a good, like, I wonder if it's the very middle. No. The very middle episode, I guess that would be the season finale of season 4. But this is a very middle of the series episode. They bring back a whole lot of people. It was really cool to see everybody.
I like that too. We have pug snores now, by the way.
Yeah, no more barking, just snoring.
Acceptable.
Catherine is up in the bed. Everyone's talking about her downstairs. She's talking to Stefan. Even on your deathbed, you're vain, he says. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you're just being nice to me because I'm dying.
But she also admits that she wants to look good. Still. Mm-hmm. Why not?
Matt gets more booze from somewhere else. Nadia is there. She slaps him, and he falls out. Damon says Catherine burned down Atlanta once. So they're kind of like doing a Bill Brasky type thing. She burned down Atlanta. Mm-hmm. He tries to get Stefan to drink. Stefan says Catherine got them killed for 500 years. She was manipulating everyone so she could live. But he feels bad for her. She was abandoned by her family. Mm-hmm. Damon says that she and Stefan just boned. And Elena's like, what?
I know. Stefan's like, oh, I didn't know everyone was going to find out about that one.
And Elena is just now learning that Nadia is Catherine's daughter.
Mm-hmm. I think it's funny that it was like supposed to be Caroline's responsibility to tell Elena all that stuff, and she's like, oops, I forgot.
Nadia's there. She found a way to save her mother but needs help. And also, she found the old safe that Stefan was in for the summer, and she buried Matt inside of it without his ring. Mm-hmm. That was random.
That's scary. And also when later in the episode, spoiler alert, when Matt gets out of the safe, He's not like panicked really at all. Like I would have been like, I don't know, passed out of pure panic or something. But he was just kind of like, oh hey, Rebecca.
Maybe he was just waking up for the first time after being slapped.
Yeah, that would have been helpful.
Elena and Stefan decide to help Nadia save Matt. To save Matt. They're going to help Nadia so that they can save Matt. Nadia needs a traveler so Catherine can be a passenger. Your mother killed your boyfriend. So Catherine killed Nadia's boyfriend, Gregor.
Yeah. And they're like, you really want to help her? But she does. It's her mom.
They arrive at a boarded up old house. They're going to make Catherine a passenger. Oh, this was my Pete-diction. Oh, wait, no. They pitched this, that Catherine would be a passenger in Nadia's body.
Right. That's what, Nadia is saying that she's going to let Catherine just be in her body. And Stefan and Elena, with her, like, kind of look at each other like, that's odd. Yeah, that'd be weird. You only get There was that movie that was that premise. It was two bros. It was Ansel. Ansel played both bros in one body, and he sent videotapes to himself. You saw it. Oh, I don't remember what this is.
And like one bro went rogue. He sent videotapes to himself.
But yeah, you can just choose. She's like, I'm gonna let my mom come out now or whatever.
Yeah, how do you get to pick? I don't know. I'm taking a me day. You can have the body today.
Right.
Right.
Did you have a Pete-diction at this point or later on?
No, I thought it was a Pete-diction that they were going to make Catherine a passenger in Nadia's body, but they just explicitly said that.
Okay.
That was their pitch. Mm-hmm. Caroline and Bonnie and Jeremy go to find Matt also. Jeremy alludes to boning Bonnie.
Right.
Caroline is surprised.
She's like, why didn't you tell me?
That's what they were doing on that episode they had off.
They were just boning the whole time?
Where we didn't see them, yeah. Catherine is having flashbacks. Bulgaria, 1492. So what was the first one? 1490. Oh, 2 years later.
Mm-hmm. She comes back to her house.
Her family is killed. All right, Damon is an interloper in her kind of
in her thoughts,
imagination.
Her memories. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Klaus tortured her. Klaus killed her family. And Damon's being mean in this vision. He says, your family's death is your fault.
I know. He's being so mean to her.
Which he is really up in there, right? Like, she's not manifesting him being a jerk, right?
No, he's like choosing that.
Yeah, he's kind of...
Him in the present is choosing to be like that in her memories.
Right. Damon was in the present. He was standing there ready to smother her. But Forbes is so random. Forbes comes in and stops him. Mm-hmm. He blames every awful thing that he's done on Catherine. Mm-hmm. Caroline sees Klaus.
It's easy when you don't have to take any responsibility and you just blame it on someone else.
Yeah.
So he likes to do.
Caroline sees Klaus in the woods. Nadia and Stefan and Elena are in the boarded up old house.
Well, how did you feel about when they showed Klaus?
Good.
I usually am like, oh, the originals again, but they've been gone long enough that I'm like, well, this will be fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm ready for them to be back again.
Yeah. Whenever someone's not there for a little bit, I like them again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
They're in the boarded up house. Travelers are always on the move. Mia is there. Are we meeting Mia for the first time? Mm-hmm. They ask for doppelgangers, these travelers. Then they steal Stefan and Elena's daylight rings, and then they're trapped inside this house with these beams of light pinning them in.
Yeah, they're in like some little corner.
And then all these travelers roll up and start chanting at them.
I know, the travelers had to be so weird. They could have just been like, hey, we need your blood.
I know, yeah. Why were they... Did they have to have ill-gotten blood, like non-consensual blood?
Well, they definitely had to do their chant during
Yeah, but couldn't Nadia just be like, hey, these guys are
This-
they're so like this. Like,
Yeah,
they
they're gonna
always come up
stand here.
chanting, like, not gonna talk much. That's just what they do. But
Just stand in this corner until they're done and be fine.
yeah, it's not like Stefan and Elena would be like, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah. They're like, all right, been there, done that.
But for our sake, the viewer's sake, it would be lame if
It
not.
would
was
be
like,
lame. Yeah, totally.
here's exactly what's going to happen. So I get it. Caroline and Klaus whoosh around. Caroline says she whooshed at the sight of his face. I called it whooshing, and she called it whooshing now.
I know.
I said that's a deep Pete-diction.
It's true, because you called it whooshing like season 1, maybe first episode.
Probably the first time I even saw them do it.
Yeah.
All y'all listeners have been knowing that the whole time.
I know. You were calling it way back when.
Damon told Klaus that Catherine is dying. And then Klaus mentions Ty, he's alive. Forbes is giving Catherine sedatives. Catherine doesn't want them. She doesn't want Damon to get in her head and be all mean
Yeah.
in her flashbacks, come up in her flashbacks being all mean.
I mean, that's the worst. You're like feeling horrible. You're literally dying. Like all you want to do is sleep, but you don't want to sleep because you're going to have bad dreams. In this
Yeah.
case, Damon is making them bad. That would be annoying.
Catherine is also being a jerk, rubs it in Damon's face that he and Elena broke up, and then he injects her with a bunch of the sedatives as revenge. So they still have their dynamic. Old Damon and Catherine can't get along.
Classic combo.
Yep. Will they, won't they? Be jerks to each other. All right, Mystic Falls, 1864. Catherine is on her way to the Lockwood plantation. She's with Emily Bennett, a witch.
In their carriage.
They see Stefan with a dumb haircut, I
I
said,
know, he looks cute.
having trouble with his carriage. That was the real story of her meeting Stefan.
That Damon never knew. He was like, what was that?
And then wants to think the universe isn't bringing together doppelgangers, but it's hard to deny because there's that whole thing of these doppelgangers are going to get together, and that flies in the face of what Damon wants because he's not a doppelganger, right?
Right.
There's no one running around looking like him,
And
right?
there's just Stefans and Elenas trying to get together in all different eras.
Ooh. All right, Pete-diction. Future ones are going to come back.
Okay.
And they're going to be wearing, like, futuristic tracksuits. They be like, in the future, vampires go to space or something. All right, that's another deep Pete-diction. That'll be the last episode.
The last one, okay. Got it.
The travelers chanting they're chanting at Stefan and Elena. Daylight is getting in.
Dun, dun, dun.
Elena and Stefan think that they're about to buy it. A guy comes up with a knife, cuts their wrists over a bucket, but they aren't healing.
So they just can bleed a lot more. But what do you think about, he didn't cut the palm. He cut the wrist horizontally.
Yeah, and kind of high up on the wrist. Like not the
like a
traditional.
forearm almost.
That was new. That was good.
They switched it up. I guess that's the way the travelers do it.
Yeah. Caroline is looking for Matt. Klaus is still bothering her. Would you offer Klaus the same choice as she gave Tyler back at the dorm room? Give up revenge to date her? Because that was... Ty was leaving the dorm room and Caroline's like, if you take one more step, it's over. And he takes one more step.
Yeah.
And then looks back over his shoulder like, hee.
I did it.
And Klaus is going to go rescue Matt. He heard Matt screaming. So I guess he wasn't asleep the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't really picture Matt like in there screaming though, but maybe.
But I don't like, imagine Matt being like, ah, but maybe just like, help, I'm in the safe over here.
Dudes! Dudes!
Like, he'd be like, Caroline, Stefan. Like, that's what his yelling would sound
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Not like a scream.
Jeremy? Y'all out there? My shift starts in 15. At the grill.
We know.
If I'm not there, it's empty. All right, Matt gets out. Mm-hmm. But
Because Rebecca lets him out.
Oh, Rebecca lets him out?
Yes. Klaus is like, I already sent someone to help him. He's going to be, like, pleased with his, not captor, but it's like the reverse. Releaser.
Yeah, finder person.
Yeah, that.
Rescuer.
Yeah, okay, rescuer works. That's a real word.
Aunt Jenna stabs Catherine in the bed. It's a hallucination. Also, Uncle John cuts off her fingers. Now Elijah is there. She's going through it. Damon is torturing her. Nadia comes up and snaps Damon's neck. Mm-hmm. Bunch of cameos.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it really makes you think Elijah was going to be there because Rebecca and
Klaus
were there.
Mm-hmm. Where was Keeve? What was the other guy's name? Cole.
Keeve?
Yeah, Keeve from the Lonely Island.
Yeah, he's one of the originals.
The original island. Mm-hmm. If the Lonely Island were some of the originals, like it was the originals we know plus the Lonely Island, that would be good.
That would be so good.
Cole actually doesn't look like Akiva Schaffer. He looks more like Yorma.
He does look more like Yorma.
And,
Elijah is Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
And Klaus is Akiva.
Yeah. That'd be funny. And then Rebecca's herself. Was there a fifth one? Or were there only four? The mom, of course.
There was, but he didn't last very long. I don't even remember his name, to be honest.
What was his deal?
He was really tall and thin. He loved that one girl. I'm bad at remembering that.
That's all right. But we need an Originals X Lonely Island collab. That'd be good.
That'd be good. Make it happen, Pete.
Stefan and Elena are still in the boarded up old house. They're still bleeding. Catherine helped Stefan with the safe PTSD, but Elena wants to hate her anyway. Stefan is rooting for her to find peace.
Catherine to find peace, yeah.
Yep. Damon is pushing Catherine away because he hates himself. Don't let him give up on you.
He's pushing Elena away.
Oh, yeah. Don't let him give up on you. Yeah, Stefan's saying that about Damon and Elena. He's rooting for them.
Yeah, he's like, you didn't give up on me when I was at my worst, so don't give up on Damon.
Mm-hmm. And then they begin healing, and they figure out that these travelers just needed a bucket, or I guess 2 buckets of blood.
Yeah.
Nadia is trying to get Catherine to do the spell. Mia is there. Catherine's like, get out of here, Mia. Catherine says it's Nadia's turn to live.
And she
apologizes to her.
Yeah, she's refusing to be a traveler in Nadia's body.
Nadia is mad that Catherine wants to die. She won't watch her die. She leaves.
I know it's hard because Catherine's like, as this mom, she's thinking like, well, I can't just be in my daughter's body. Like, that's not right. Mm-hmm. But then...
Awkward.
I know, but then the daughter, Nadia, is like, my mom's just leaving me again, sort of that thing. So it's like a lose-lose moment.
Mm-hmm. Caroline and Klaus are walking in the woods. Matt... Oh... I said these 2 things were super anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Matt in the safe was...
It was not a big deal.
Not a big deal. And Stefan and Elena in that house, they both were like 2 scenes. They were done in like 5 minutes.
No one got hurt. Nothing serious happened.
Klaus wants Caroline to confess that she's into him. She says her future doesn't involve Klaus, but they be into smooch and whoosh makeout.
Yeah, she said she'll admit it to him if he'll never come back and he'll leave her alone all the way. So she's like, I'll indulge in this if you just leave me alone.
Damon wakes up. Stefan walks in. Damon messed with Catherine's mind all day. Stefan says goodbye to Catherine. All right, she flashes back to her family again, but this time Stefan is in the memory and he's nice.
And he's taking away, like, all the trauma and sadness.
Yep. Yeah, he's like moving the dead dad out of there.
And stopping up the blood.
You should see just outside the front door, though. It's just bodies piled up. Catherine says she doesn't deserve to be loved. Stefan says no, she deserves to feel peace. None of this is your fault. And he says it a couple times. It's like Goodwill Hunting when Robin Williams is telling
Matt Damon, yeah.
Will Hunting.
That it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know this now.
Catherine gets to be with her baby. Stefan says goodbye. And then Elena is there. Stefan and Damon are outside drinking Brothers Bond. At some point in this episode, the bottle really looked like Brothers Bond.
It really did, yeah.
They probably got some design ideas from the fake whiskey.
I know, it looked so much like it.
Stefan tells Damon to fix it with Elena. Damon can't live without her, but she'll be happier without him. Damon will get Elena back, and the universe will freak out because the doppelgangers aren't together.
I hate it, though, when characters, like what Damon did, has been like, well, she's going to be happier without me, so I'm just going to leave her. It's like, how do you get to decide that for someone else? Like,
Yeah, and how do you know?
And, yeah, if you want to be with her, be with her. And if she doesn't, then she'll be the one to be like, no.
Right.
You don't decide it for the other person.
Caroline and Matt and Jeremy and Bonnie are chilling.
They're all drunk. They've been drinking whiskey all day.
Bonnie will be able to feel Catherine's death, and at some point Catherine's like standing over there, right?
For
And then
just a
she's
second,
like,
yeah.
No. Bonnie sees Vicky on the other side. Okay, this was one of my favorite scenes of the show so far.
It's a great scene.
Vicky's there. She's there. She loves him. Ty's there in real...
She's talking to Matt. She
Yeah.
loves Matt. She watches over him. I don't know. It made me get emotional, her saying that.
Ty is there in real life.
Yeah, Ty comes in real life.
Rebecca says to tell you I'm her party gift, so she's not there anymore, but she dipped out. Alaric is there.
We love Alaric.
Bonnie is translating for everyone. Oh, yeah, Catherine is there. Too soon, she says. She wakes herself up. She has unfinished business. Elena is like, I do too.
Elena was about to give some big speech, she says.
Elena forgives her. They're not so different. Elena gives her more drugs. Catherine does the traveler spell to Elena, then dies. And I said, didn't I Pete-dict that at some point she'd be in there?
Yeah, you did.
She calls Nadia on the phone, who activates her like the Winter Soldier. I'm Catherine Pierce. I survive. All right, I said Bonnie will know that Catherine didn't pass through, though. So, like, next episode they will figure out, like, I saw her for a second, but she never, like, went through my whole body and made me painful. All right, and then the last thing is Catherine does an Elena impression. I'm Elena Gilbert. Blah, blah, blah.
I know, which is so funny. It's so Inception. It's Elena as Catherine doing Elena.
Yep, and she's good at it.
She is good at it. Good job, Dobrev, also, for doing that.
Yeah, Dobrev is playing layers like Stefan had to do the layers earlier.
They really do convince you of these characters that are the same but different.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know any of these people from anything else, so they are just those people to me.
Yeah, but to be like, this one person, this one actor is these three characters.
It's great.
It's really good. So how many fangs for this one, Petey?
Which actually, I do know Paul Wesley as the guy from that surf shop or that restaurant in the OC.
Yeah. It wasn't the bait shop because that was the club, but it was the breakfast spot. He
So
was a server.
this whole time I'm like, wait,
Did they get their pancakes?
this guy lives in Orange County. What's he doing here in Mystic Falls? I'm confused every episode.
Every episode.
And then Damon is actually Paul from Rules of Attraction.
Also, if you know Stefan as the waiter from the OC, that means Stefan knows Matt's mom because it's Julie Cooper.
I know. Whenever, she ran off to the OC also, and I saw some knowing glances back when she was an absent mother.
I also think Vicky might have been on the OC too. Maybe.
I think so too. Was Vicky friends with Buddy, the surfer guy Johnny, who hurt his leg?
I think so. I think that's her.
Yeah, I saw some knowing glances between Johnny's friend and then the waiter at that restaurant.
They were like, we know your
where
mom.
Ryan also worked.
All right, this is goofy. All right, well, how many fangs?
And
Pete.
remember Damon said he went to college a bunch of times?
Yeah.
One of them was Camden in the early 2000s.
Okay.
Or the 80s, depending on
What you're reading and watching?
timeline you want to believe. 2 fangs.
2 fangs.
Yep.
I'll give it a 2-fanger. It was really good. You know, I like when Stefan is being a sweetie, even though he was being a sweetie towards Catherine and not towards Elena necessarily. But he was still being nice to Elena. But I like sweetie Stefan, and I like the flashback moment of Stefan when he first met Catherine. That was fun. And it was really cool seeing everyone come back and there being a big cast this ep.
Yep. They blew out their budget, their actor budget.
So you already said what's going to happen with Elena / Catherine. And that they haven't really set up anything else. I mean, I guess Enzo wasn't in this episode. He died.
He died. I don't know. This was episode.
We didn't even talk about him.
This was episode 11, so it's going to kick off the back 11, 12 through 22. And yeah, that's season 5. Wow.
And then Klaus said he's never coming back. Do you believe him?
No.
And do you think Caroline and Tyler will rekindle their flame?
I don't know. I don't really care about them at this point. He's not going to be like, now I'm coming to college. That ship has sailed.
Well, it's good. It's exciting to get on the back end of this season. Excited for you to see it for the first time.
Nothing like jumping on the back end of a season. You know, when you're coming into the front end of a season, you're kind of like, well, don't know what this is going to be all about. Then mid-season, you're like riding out the back end of the season.
That's what I said.
Yep. And you're just like, this season is halfway over, and I'm riding it out.
Alrighty. Well, thanks, Pete. What else you got?
Ash, you should go onto Instagram and follow at High Dive Publishing.
Well, I already do, so check.
And then you should buy my books, Horror from the High Dive, volumes 1 and 2, the entire Happenstances series, all 3 books.
Do it.
Satisfying conclusion, but doesn't mean that it's over.
Summer's never over.
Summer is never over. And that's about it.
All right, bye.